Hey guys, Mark Ferrasci, Protect Dog Training, heading to lunch, and I wanted to thank you guys, those that are a couple of 2 or 3 or 4. There's always a couple comments a day, and we appreciate it. So there were some questions that came in in this regard, and one of them is Tunveer, I do believe is his name, over in the UK, and he's a big fan. He's always putting out things and asking questions, and I don't always give you what you want, Tunveer. And it's because I'm kind of just a one-track pony where I'm going after something, my mind is on something, that's what I'm going to accent. That doesn't mean that I won't come back to something that you've suggested. One of those things that you're just asking me as far as why you would teach an indirect command, okay? Think about some of the sports we do, okay? Right now I have a thing with Buddy where I want him to stay centered on me with a focused heel, okay? And not be looking at the decoy and not be so distracted he's going after him. Where does that come from? PSA. PSA is going to have 1, 2, 3 decoys that are going to be out there. And so it's not that I'm going to go do a PSA trial, but at the same time, these are the things that little bees that are in my bonnet that I get, that I see, that I like, okay? So I want to kind of do the same thing. And my natural tendencies is to go out there and ask the dog to focus on me, and then make the dog do it. You have a tendency to want to do it with force, with corrections, all right? And you can't win with a strong dog like Buddy. You have to figure out something else that's going to be more motivational for him to keep his eye on you. And so what you have to do is have some kind of lesson. So there it is right there. If you have a toy on that cone, and that's the way I usually start it, to convey the thought. Remember, we're always conveying the thought to the dog of what we want. And going indirect, he has to stay attention to me before I say get it, get it, get it. See what I'm saying? So what are you doing? You're accenting that if he looks at you and does the job, that he gets his reward, and the reward is away from you. Okay? There's all kinds of little things. And another colleague, friend, somebody that's out there as another trainer, does a lot of food tossing in his stuff. He's got a fake carpet, one of those fake turfs, and he can throw the hot dog and say, get it, get it, get it. The dog goes away from him, and then he can get the dog to call him back. So he has something to use. It's a tool to use as indirect reward, to use to create a behavior loop, right? So now he can say, come, or say the dog's name. The dog hears the name and comes diving in for that food, right? So there's all kinds of things that you can use these behaviors for as you build the dog. So it's useful in that respect. Why would you do it? Because it's a useful thing to be able to put in as far as training that allows the dog to be, or you to be able to manipulate a training behavior loop, right? You create a behavior loop that now is more advantageous for you to be able to teach the dog something, right? So instead of using correction and yanking the dog and trying to get him to pay attention to you, I can do it where the dog now has a motivational reason. If I pay attention to him long enough, there's a time level, boom, he's going to send me out to go get what I really want, which is to bite the decoy, to go after a toy, whatever it may be, right? So these little behavior loops, why do I have a dog go up on that table and have an explosion release? It's because now the dog has to settle, and he learns to settle, calmness, right? And then boom, he gets an explosion release. There's a motivation for him to learn to wait, right? That waiting, right? Why do we teach a dog to leave it? As a command that they use. Me, I don't really use leave it. I'm getting it lately. I've been kind of saying leave it because I've been using it with Luna. She has a tendency to pick up bird feathers, and I've got my mob of crows that are up there, and they're leaving feathers all over the property. So Luna, being a very distracted little puppy, wants to go down and go after that little feather. I don't want her to get into that because it's got Giardia and Coccidia, whatever, with birds, that she could get diseases from it, or not diseases, but ailments, you know, parasites that are in the environment, microscopic ones that are in the gut tract and that causes diarrhea and other things. But there's reasons that we don't want a dog to go down and grab every little item. Some dogs love to grab rock socks off the ground. Leave it is a very functional command of that. So that's why we do the indirect command, indirect reward, right? One of the reasons. Why do we do reward placement, where I teach the dog to go into the legs? Because when he comes in, he goes in and sits, gives me his attention, and right away I have almost an explosion release. Think about it. Yep, and he right away gets to go to his toy. Yes, and he gets to get to his toy. So all this stuff is about drives. It's about teaching the dog to go in, give you a behavior, and be waiting, anticipatory type of an explosion that gets you speed in the work. Okay? So I guess what I would say, Turner, is to basically analyze it for yourself and think about what can I do with these little things that I'm showing you that you can put to work in a functional style, right? Maybe you can come up with some things that you can use them for, right? So, and I don't do that food tossing because I've got sand all over the place. That sand is nasty, it gets on the food. It's not really that conducive to what I want to try to do. I wish I could use it. I wish I had grass or some kind of turf that I had, but in that desert environment, it's not functional. I mean, I could put it out there and it'd be dirty and filthy and nothing flat because we get dust devils and those really bad wind. We get them every day. They come in, and some days they'll go in the back of the kennel and it'll be nothing but dirt in the back of the kennel. How did it get there? The wind. And we have windstorms, basically. So there's reasons that I would love to use that food toss. Very functional. I look at them and I go, man, that's pretty cool. It works, right? But he can use it in his backyard what he has set up for his training. And everybody has limitations. We all have things that can make it more advantageous or less advantageous for us to be able to use, right? There's 1,001 ways to do things, and there's always a method to the madness, so to speak. So, all right, I'll let you guys go. Have a good day, and we got more coming at you as we get the bee in our bonnet, and we want to yak at the screen. So, I thank you very much. Have a good day, guys. We're real hot today. It's in the triple digits today out here. See you later. Bye-bye.